So education is overrated. Hear me when I say education is overrated. If all you do is teach your children mathematics, biology, chemistry, whatever subject, that's all you do all the time, I want to tell you, you have failed. You have failed, you are failing, you are not maximizing what you ought to do as a parent, you're not thinking about all the things that you want to get out of your child. Because think about it. Let's start from the very beginning actually. How did you decide to be a parent? Or once you decided you're going to be a parent, when did you decide to start parenting? For me, I was around friends my age who had little belly bumps, the whole pregnancy thing. And I was like, I want one of those. Where do you buy one of those? And they were like, nope, you don't buy it. You actually make it. I said, okay, sign me up for that. And I remember when I thought about babies and children, I was so fascinated by pregnancy, the whole period. I think also being an African women who are pregnant, you're just treated special. There's a special thing about being pregnant. There's a lot of cultural values attached to being pregnant. So I really loved it. Fast forward many years, I have 4 children and I'm here trying to think about parenting. How am I going to parent these children together with my husband? What does that look like? So if you're anything like me, you focus so much on pregnancy, the whole 9 months where we're going to deliver, packing the hospital bags, doing this and that. And we did not think far enough about what are we going to do with these children once they are children, right? I have homeschooled my children for the past 6 years or so. And we've done all manner of homeschooling, hybrid schooling, unschooling, online schooling, regular schooling, world schooling. And this fascination we have about education has consumed me. Maybe it has consumed you as well as a parent. How am I ensuring that my child is maximizing the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding he or she needs to be a great person in the world? And because we do what we see others do to us, i.e. our parents said, go to the best school, get the best grades, and your life will be the best life. So we do the same thing to our kids. We focus so much on education at the sacrifice of other things. What do I mean by that? I remember once God told me, if your daughter grows up to be the richest human being in the world, like however you want to think about being rich, we have not seen wealth at this extreme before. So God said, Bola, your child is going to be the richest human being in the world. What would you do with her? How would you train her? How would you teach her? How would you equip her? How would you coach her? How would you spend time with her? Would that change anything about how you parent? And this hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, wait, what? If she's going to be so wealthy, we don't need to be studying math facts and making it stick. We don't need division rules. We don't need to think about Pythagorean theorem. We need to start thinking about how she is going to change the world with the power and authority that wealth provides her. So to you, as you're listening to me, how would you change how you parent, knowing that your child is positioned to be the wealthiest in the world? How would you spend the time you have with your child? Would you focus on arts and music, expanding his or her mind? Would you focus on sports and eye-hand coordination, making sure they maximize their body and making sure they have a well-trained mind connected to their physical body so they can have prosperity, longevity, they can live long? Would you focus on character and ensuring they treat people well and integrity is of utmost importance to you? Would you focus on compassion or culture? Like, what would you do knowing now that your child is meant to be the richest child in the world? I thought about this and spoke to my husband about this, and we realized that we are over focusing on education, and education is overrated. For us, character trumps knowledge. Hear me out. If this child is going to be so rich, how are we making sure that she knows what she's meant to do with the wealth she's been given? How are we making sure that she has the compassion she needs to share and use this power and authority in a way that actually does change the world? How are we making sure that she learns the ropes of entrepreneurship and commerce, because there are principles to commerce, so that she's bartering and exchanging the gifts that God has given her with others? There's just so much to learn about integrity and how you even control yourself amidst difficulties or trials, so that you lead yourself, because we all know if you can't lead from within, you can't lead anyone. How are we making sure that you are focused on what's most important for you? So here's what we did. I want to share it with you. Hopefully it will help you as well. We, meaning my husband and I, sat and we listed all the different characteristics and traits that we want our children to have, with a focus on that one child, right? And we listed it all. So I want you to do the same thing. Do you want her or him to be the best CEO in the world? Do you want her or him to be known for, being the best competitor, the best athlete, the best musician? Whatever you want, list it all. Then I want you, individually and with your spouse, pick the top 2 traits that you think is most important for your child. So in essence, if you want your child to be a CEO, a top executive, then that's what you ought to focus your time on. Because believe it or not, we don't have that much time with our children. At best, we have 21 years with them. 21 Christmases, 21 summers, 21 seasons with them. And if you think about it, it's actually less than that, because your child is not age 0, right? So 21 minus however old they are, 10 or however 11, that's how much time you have left with them. So in that, let's say you have 11-year-old, in the last decade that you have with your child, how are you focusing your behavior, your patterns, your parenting traditions, your energy, your time, whatever you do, whatever you speak to them, how are you focusing and making sure that it's sticking so that this child can be the best CEO? Because I promise you, education in and of itself is overrated. If all you did was educate your child and not think about what else could this child be, we are on the path to regret, to sadness, to I wish I coulda, woulda. And that's not where you want to be. Take it from me, I'm a Harvard trained PhD. So I'm not saying do not educate your child, but I am saying that's not all we're meant to be doing. I hope this stirs some things inside of you to start thinking about, are we overemphasizing education? Are there other things you want to think about with your partner as far as your children? So education is overrated. I'm not saying do not focus on education. Hear me out. Come closer. I am saying if all you did was focus on education, like subjects from school, math, physics, chemistry, biology, history, geography, if that's all you did with your child in the years that you have left when this child is in your house, Mama, I feel like we're on the path to regret. I feel like there's so much more we could have poured out into this child, and we don't want to leave anything inside us. Like, I don't know about you, but I want to make sure that I die out as a mom empty. I want to empty out as much as I can and imprint onto each one of my children. I know you want to do the same. So I want you to just spend some time thinking about this. Education is overrated. What else could you be teaching your children? As a Harvard PhD trained educator, I'm telling you, there's more. I know this is a heavy topic. I know you've been thinking about this. I know as moms, you're always thinking, am I making the best decision as far as my child, training my child, teaching my child? But I also want to let you know, as you already kind of know, education is not the one all be all that we are meant to be passing on to our children. There's a lot more to this. So let's share, let's learn. In this community of Mothering Mavens, we share. So hit me in the comments, let me know what you're doing. What else should you be doing? What else do you want to try besides education? Let's keep talking, sis.